In today's fast-paced world, noise seems to fill every corner of our lives. From the constant buzz of social media to the never-ending conversations around us, it can be difficult to find a moment of true silence. Yet, Stoicism, an ancient philosophy of life, offers us an entirely different perspective on the value of silence. Rather than viewing it as a void to be feared or a sign of weakness, Stoicism teaches us that silence is a powerful tool for achieving inner peace, mental strength, and a deeper understanding of the world. Silence is not just about keeping secrets or staying out of trouble. It is about cultivating the wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain quiet. As we explore these 10 situations where silence is not merely a choice but a necessity, you will discover how to harness its power in your own life. We will delve into moments of anger, unfairness, insult, and uncertainty, as well as loss, gossip, and self-praise, to uncover the profound impact that silence can have. Before we dive into each scenario, it's essential to watch this video in its entirety. Each situation will offer a unique lesson that builds on the previous one, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of silence and how to apply Stoic principles in everyday life. If you miss any of these lessons, you might overlook a valuable tool for personal growth, self-control, and resilience. Let us begin our journey into the art of silence. 1. Silence when facing anger. Anger is a powerful emotion that can arise swiftly, often without warning. It can cloud our judgment, lead us to say things we later regret, and disrupt our inner tranquility. When faced with anger, whether it be in a conflict with a co-worker, a disagreement with a loved one, or a situation where our expectations have not been met, the natural response may be to lash out. But as the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely pointed out, anger itself often inflicts more harm than the original offense. Why is it important to stay silent when angered? Stoicism teaches us that in moments of intense emotion, silence serves as a protective shield. When you remain silent, you give yourself the space to breathe, to observe your thoughts without immediately reacting, and to consider the consequences of your words. What would you gain by speaking out in anger? Would the situation improve, or would you merely spread the flames of discord further? Often, anger only worsens the problem at hand. Reflect on the last time you felt angry. Did speaking out help to resolve the issue, or did it escalate the conflict? By remaining silent, you take the first step toward mastering your emotions, allowing reason and compassion to guide your actions instead of fury. How can we use silence to transform anger into something positive? The power of Stoicism lies in its ability to turn challenges into opportunities for growth. When you feel anger rising within you, pause and ask yourself, what is the true cause of my anger? Is it frustration over something that I cannot control? Or is it an unmet expectation I placed on someone else? By identifying the root of your anger, you can transform this negative emotion into a source of personal growth. Silence gives you the space to practice patience and to find a solution that does not involve harmful words. Imagine a scenario where you are angry with a colleague because of a misunderstanding. Instead of letting anger dictate your response, use silence to reflect. Approach the situation calmly, seek clarity, and communicate assertively once you have regained your composure. This approach not only helps to resolve the issue, but also strengthens your relationship with the other person. Do you find it challenging to stay silent when angry? If so, why? Take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. How do you handle your anger? Do you find that speaking out helps or harms you in the long run? Your experiences could offer valuable insights for others on the same path. Key takeaway: silence as a tool for anger management. Mastering the art of silence in moments of anger not only shields you from rash decisions, but also cultivates a stronger and more resilient character. By learning to be still and reflect during emotional storms, you pave the way toward personal growth, better relationships, and a calmer mind. 2. Silence when confronted with unfairness. Unfairness is an inevitable part of life. Whether it is being overlooked for a promotion, facing discrimination, or dealing with favoritism, injustice can evoke feelings of frustration, resentment, and even despair. When confronted with such situations, the instinctual response may be to cry out against the wrongs or to seek immediate redress. However, Stoicism teaches us a different approach: to remain silent and composed. Why choose silence in the face of unfairness? Silence in such moments does not imply submission or passivity. It represents a conscious decision to maintain your dignity and self-control, rather than reacting out of emotional distress. When you react hastily to perceived injustice, you may find yourself making decisions clouded by anger or bitterness, which could further entrench the unfairness you are trying to resist. Instead, silence allows you to observe the situation with a clear mind, considering all perspectives before acting. Have you ever faced a situation where you felt wronged and chose to react impulsively? Did it resolve the situation, or did it exacerbate your frustration? Reflect on how silence could have changed the outcome, offering you a different way to address the issue. How can silence help us to respond to injustice more effectively? Silence, in the context of Stoicism, provides the mental space to evaluate your options without being overwhelmed by emotions. When treated unfairly, step back and observe your feelings. Why does this particular situation affect you so deeply? Is it because you believe that you deserve more? Or is it because you have placed too much emphasis on external recognition? By practicing silence, you can shift your focus from what is outside your control to what is within your power. You may not be able to change the decisions of others, but you can choose how you respond. Strengthen your skills, seek out new opportunities, and work diligently to prove your worth. As Marcus Aurelius advised, the best way to avenge yourself is to refuse to become like those who wrong you. Have you experienced unfairness in your life? How did you handle it? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences might inspire others who are struggling with similar challenges to find their inner strength and approach the situation with a Stoic mindset. Key takeaway: transforming unfairness into personal growth. When confronted with unfairness, choosing silence allows you to rise above the situation, maintaining your integrity while focusing on self-improvement. Injustice can become a catalyst for growth if you let it refine your character rather than embitter your spirit. 3. Silence when dealing with loss. Loss is one of the most challenging experiences we encounter in life. It can take many forms, from the death of a loved one to the loss of a job or the end of a relationship. These moments of grief can leave us feeling disoriented, helpless, and overwhelmed by waves of emotion. Yet, Stoicism provides a framework for coping with loss that allows us to find strength even in our darkest moments. Why should we embrace silence in times of loss? When faced with the pain of loss, silence allows us to retreat inward, providing the space needed for reflection and acceptance. It is not about suppressing grief or denying our emotions, but rather about acknowledging them in a way that enables us to maintain our composure. The Stoics viewed life as a series of natural cycles, where everything we have is temporary and bound to change. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote about the fleeting nature of life and how we must learn to let go without despair. In these moments, silence can be a form of meditation, where we come to terms with the reality of impermanence. Instead of being consumed by sorrow, silence gives us the strength to process our feelings at our own pace. It encourages us to find meaning in the loss and to remember the value of what was, without becoming trapped in mourning. How can silence help us navigate grief constructively? Loss, while painful, can also be a powerful teacher. Silence allows us to reflect on what we have learned from the experience and to recognize that the essence of life is ever-changing. When we remain quiet and composed, We give ourselves the opportunity to heal gradually and naturally, rather than forcing ourselves to move on before we are ready. Stoicism does not advocate for a numbness to emotions, but rather for a balanced approach to them. By practicing silence, we can better understand the lessons that loss brings, whether it is to appreciate the time we had with someone, to recognize the resilience we build through adversity, or to understand that life is not defined by any single moment. In embracing silence, we can honor the memory of what we have lost, while also looking forward to the future. How do you cope with loss? Do you find comfort in moments of silence? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. By sharing how you navigate loss, you can help others find solace and strength in their own journeys. Key takeaway: silence as a path to healing. Embracing silence during times of loss allows us to grieve in a manner that honors our feelings while also fostering resilience. It reminds us that while we may not have control over the events that unfold in life, we do have control over how we process and respond to them. 4. Silence when facing insults. Insults and disrespect are common occurrences in life. At some point, we all experience situations where our character or abilities are questioned, often unjustly. The immediate reaction may be to defend oneself or to retaliate with equally harsh words. Yet, Stoicism teaches us that in these moments, silence can be our greatest ally. Why should we stay silent in the face of insults? The Stoic approach to handling insults is rooted in the understanding that external opinions do not define our true worth. As Epictetus wisely noted, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When someone insults you, remember that their words are merely a reflection of their own mindset, not of your value as a person. Choosing silence demonstrates that you are not easily provoked or swayed by the judgments of others. By refraining from responding to insults, you preserve your dignity and show that you are not willing to be dragged into petty disputes. Consider the last time someone insulted you. Did responding to them change their opinion, or did it escalate the situation? Silence, in this sense, serves as a form of self-protection, allowing you to maintain your inner calm and avoid unnecessary conflict. How can silence strengthen our character when dealing with insults? Silence in response to insults requires a high degree of self-control, which is a core tenet of Stoicism. It shows that you prioritize your peace of mind over the need to prove others wrong. By choosing not to respond, you demonstrate a level of maturity that goes beyond the reach of those who seek to provoke you. Furthermore, silence allows you to focus on what truly matters, your own actions and values. If you know that you are living in accordance with your principles, then the words of others should hold little weight. By staying silent, you reaffirm your commitment to a life guided by reason and virtue, rather than by the opinions of the uninformed. Have you ever chosen silence in the face of insult? What was the outcome? Leave a comment below and share your story. How did remaining silent affect the situation, and what did you learn from the experience? Key takeaway: silence as a sign of strength in adversity. When faced with insults, choosing silence empowers you to rise above the negativity. It reflects a deep confidence in your values and an understanding that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. In silence, you find the strength to maintain your composure and to let your actions speak louder than words. 5. Silence when confronted with gossip. In every community, workplace, or social circle, gossip exists. It is a behavior that often seeks to diminish others or to spread misinformation. When we become the subject of gossip, the temptation to defend ourselves or to retaliate can be strong. However, Stoicism teaches us that silence in such situations is often the wiser path. Why should we remain silent in the face of gossip? Gossip thrives on reaction. When you respond to rumors, you give them power and legitimacy, allowing the falsehoods to grow and persist. By choosing silence, you deny gossip the attention it seeks. This Stoic approach to dealing with gossip involves recognizing that your worth is not contingent on the opinions or misconceptions of others. Silence serves as a powerful way to disengage from the cycle of rumor spreading and to maintain your integrity. Reflect on the times when you have been the target of gossip. Did confronting the source of the rumors resolve the issue, or did it lead to more speculation? Silence allows you to rise above the fray, showing that you do not need to prove yourself to those who would seek to tear you down. How can we use silence to change the narrative around gossip? When we choose not to engage with gossip, we set an example for others. By demonstrating that we are not interested in participating in rumor-mongering, we encourage a culture of respect and truth. Silence in the face of gossip is not about passively accepting false narratives, but about letting time and truth reveal themselves. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." By adhering to this principle, we show that our character is defined by our actions, not by the words of others. Have you ever remained silent when you were the subject of gossip? What did you learn from that experience? Let us know in the comments. Sharing how you handled gossip can offer insights to others on how to approach similar situations with a Stoic mindset. Key takeaway: silence as a defense against falsehood. Silence is a powerful tool for navigating the treacherous waters of gossip. It allows you to protect your peace, maintain your dignity, and uphold your principles even in the face of falsehoods. By not giving energy to rumors, you preserve your integrity and stand firm in your values. 6. Silence in the midst of uncertainty. Life is full of uncertainties. Whether it is a decision that could change the course of your life or a situation where you have no clear direction, uncertainty can create anxiety and fear. In these moments, many people are tempted to fill the silence with words or actions, hoping to gain some semblance of control. Yet, Stoicism teaches us that in the face of the unknown, silence is not only acceptable, but necessary. Why should we embrace silence during times of uncertainty? When faced with uncertainty, silence allows us to step back and gather our thoughts. It provides the mental space needed to observe the situation calmly and to avoid impulsive decisions. As Epictetus reminded us, we cannot control the external world, but we can control our response to it. In uncertainty, silence grants us the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Think about the last time you faced a situation with an unclear outcome. Did rushing to act provide clarity, or did it lead to further confusion? By embracing silence, we give ourselves the opportunity to reflect on the factors within our control, to evaluate the information available to us, and to proceed with a clear mind. How does silence help us confront our fears in uncertain times? Silence encourages us to accept that there will always be unknowns in life. Instead of trying to eliminate uncertainty, Stoicism invites us to focus on cultivating resilience and adaptability. When we allow ourselves to sit in silence, we confront our fears without being overwhelmed by them. This approach transforms silence into a source of strength, where we learn to trust our ability to face whatever comes our way. Stoicism teaches that uncertainty is not a problem to be solved, but a condition to be embraced. In accepting that we cannot predict the future, we free ourselves from the anxiety of trying to control every outcome. Silence becomes a tool for developing patience and fortitude. Do you find it difficult to stay silent during uncertain times? Why or why not? Share your experiences in the comments. How has practicing silence helped or hindered you when facing uncertainty? Key takeaway: silence as a source of clarity in the unknown. Choosing silence amid uncertainty allows us to approach life's challenges with a calm and focused mind. It empowers us to navigate the unknown with confidence, transforming fear into an opportunity for growth. 7. Silence in the face of self-praise and bragging. In a world that often encourages self-promotion and the constant sharing of achievements, the art of remaining silent in the face of praise can seem counterintuitive. Yet, Stoicism teaches us that silence in these moments is a form of inner strength. When others boast, or when we receive praise, choosing to remain humble and quiet can help us maintain a balanced perspective. Why should we practice silence when facing self-praise or the bragging of others? Stoicism emphasizes the cultivation of humility and the avoidance of being swayed by external validation. When someone praises us, or when we are tempted to boast about our achievements, it is easy to get carried away and let pride take over. However, Stoicism encourages us to remain detached from external opinions, whether positive or negative, because they do not define our true worth. Our self-worth should come from within, grounded in our own understanding of our virtues and values. When we stay silent in the face of self-praise, we demonstrate a commitment to inner growth rather than external recognition. It helps us avoid the pitfalls of vanity and keeps us focused on continuous improvement rather than resting on our laurels. How can silence help us cultivate humility? Silence allows us to reflect on our actions without seeking external validation. It teaches us to be satisfied with our efforts, regardless of whether others acknowledge them or not. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. In a similar way, by rejecting the need for praise, we free ourselves from the need to seek approval from others. This doesn't mean that we should ignore recognition or deny our accomplishments, but rather that we should not let them become the measure of our self-worth. Practicing silence when praised allows us to stay grounded and to remind ourselves that what matters most is our ongoing pursuit of virtue. Do you find it challenging to remain humble in the face of praise? Why do you think that is? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. How do you handle compliments or the urge to boast? Your insights could help others find a balanced approach to praise and recognition. Key takeaway: silence as a practice of humility. Silence in the face of self-praise or bragging helps us stay true to our values, reminding us that the pursuit of excellence is a continuous journey. It allows us to appreciate our accomplishments without becoming dependent on the validation of others. 8. Silence amidst false rumors and accusations. False rumors and accusations can be damaging and distressing. When our integrity or character is questioned unfairly, the natural reaction might be to defend ourselves passionately. Yet, Stoicism teaches that in such situations, silence can be a powerful form of self-control and dignity. Why should we choose silence when confronted with false rumors? In the face of baseless accusations, reacting defensively can often do more harm than good. It may lead to arguments, escalate conflicts, or even give the false claims more attention than they deserve. By choosing silence, we deny the rumors the fuel they need to spread. It shows that we are not rattled by the opinions of others and that we trust the truth to eventually come to light. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after." When faced with rumors, silence aligns with this principle. It signifies that we are not seeking to validate our character through others' perceptions, but are confident in our truth. How can silence protect our integrity? Silence acts as a shield that preserves our inner peace and dignity. When we refuse to engage with falsehoods, we demonstrate a deep confidence in who we are and what we stand for. It is not about ignoring or passively accepting lies, but about choosing not to let them disturb our tranquility. Moreover, silence leaves room for time to reveal the truth. When we do not react hastily, we can observe the situation with a calm mind and decide if a response is truly warranted. Often, false accusations collapse under the weight of their own inconsistency when left unaddressed. Have you ever faced false accusations? How did you handle them, Share your experience in the comments. Did you choose to stay silent, or did you feel compelled to respond? Reflecting on how we handle such situations can be valuable for personal growth. Key takeaway: silence as a safeguard for truth. When confronted with false rumors, silence helps us maintain our composure and self-respect. It shows that our sense of self is not dependent on external validation, and it allows time and truth to prevail without unnecessary conflict. 9. Silence when faced with unfair criticism. Criticism, especially when it is unjust or irrational, can be difficult to endure. It is natural to want to defend ourselves or to prove our critic wrong. However, Stoicism offers a different approach: to respond with silence and to reflect on the criticism with a calm mind. Why should we stay silent when faced with unfair criticism? Epictetus advised that if someone criticizes you, rather than rushing to defend yourself, consider whether there is any truth to what they are saying. If there is, accept the feedback and improve yourself. If there is not, then the criticism holds no real weight and does not require a response. Silence in response to unfair criticism demonstrates emotional resilience and self-control. It shows that you are not easily shaken by the opinions of others and that your sense of self is not determined by external judgments. Reacting impulsively may only give credibility to the criticism or lead to unnecessary conflict. How does silence allow us to reflect on the validity of criticism? Silence provides the opportunity to reflect on the criticism objectively. It allows us to separate the valid points from the baseless ones and to decide if any changes are needed. When we take a step back, we can assess whether the critique is a reflection of our own actions or a projection of the critic's biases. In practicing Stoicism, we learn to view criticism as a potential tool for growth, even when it is delivered harshly. By remaining silent, we avoid reacting defensively and can use the feedback, if relevant, to become a better version of ourselves. Have you ever chosen silence when criticized? How did it affect the outcome? Feel free to share in the comments how silence has helped you handle criticism in a constructive manner. Your experiences could provide valuable lessons for others who face similar challenges. Key takeaway: silence as a pathway to growth. When dealing with unfair criticism, silence allows us to reflect calmly and objectively. It helps us discern whether the critique is useful or not, while maintaining our peace of mind. This approach not only protects us from unnecessary conflict, but also fosters personal growth. 10. Embracing silence amid uncertainty. Uncertainty is an unavoidable part of life. It manifests in situations where we do not have all the answers, or when the future is unclear. In these moments, we may feel the urge to speak out, to act impulsively, or to express our anxieties. However, Stoicism teaches that silence is not only appropriate, but beneficial during times of uncertainty. Why should we adopt silence when confronted with uncertainty? Silence allows us to pause and reflect before making decisions. In moments of uncertainty, reacting hastily can lead to choices that are not fully thought through. By embracing silence, we give ourselves the time to evaluate the situation, consider our options, and make decisions that align with our values. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of understanding what is within our control and what is not. In situations of uncertainty, silence helps us focus on the factors we can influence rather than being consumed by those we cannot. It provides the mental clarity needed to navigate complex situations without succumbing to anxiety. How does silence help us develop resilience in the face of the unknown? Silence cultivates patience and strengthens our ability to withstand the discomfort of not knowing. It reminds us that life is full of unpredictability and that our peace of mind should not be dependent on having everything figured out. Through practicing silence, we learn to sit with our uncertainty and to find calmness in the present moment. Stoicism encourages us to accept the unknown with grace, understanding that uncertainty is not a problem to be solved, but a natural aspect of existence. Silence gives us the space to approach life with an open mind, ready to adapt to whatever comes our way. Do you find it challenging to remain silent during uncertain times? How do you cope with the unknown? Share your thoughts in the comments. How does practicing silence help you navigate uncertainty? Your experiences might resonate with others who are trying to find peace in times of doubt. Key takeaway: silence as a means of embracing the unknown. Choosing silence amid uncertainty allows us to respond thoughtfully and maintain our inner stability. It fosters resilience and helps us approach life's unpredictability with a calm and composed mind. As we have explored throughout these 10 scenarios, silence is not merely the absence of speech. It is a powerful and purposeful practice. In the Stoic tradition, silence represents strength, humility, resilience, and the ability to maintain one's composure in the face of life's challenges. Whether dealing with anger, unfairness, insults, or uncertainty, choosing silence allows us to protect our inner peace and to act in accordance with our principles. Silence is not about avoidance, but about creating the space needed for reflection, growth, and thoughtful action. It empowers us to navigate difficult situations with clarity and to emerge stronger, regardless of the circumstances. If you found these lessons helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can continue to explore Stoicism and its practical applications for living a virtuous and meaningful life. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the power of silence. Have you practiced any of these techniques? How has Stoicism helped you in your daily life? Let us know, and let's keep this conversation going. Thank you for being part of this journey. May you find peace and strength in the practice of silence, and may Stoicism guide you toward a life of wisdom and inner tranquility.